Welcome to the JAMODI podcast. We are all surrounded by amazing coaches and leaders. So let's get an inside look at not just what they do, but how they do what they do. After all, becoming the best versions of ourselves is JAMODI, just a matter of doing it.
The JAMODI podcast is powered by Sideline Interactive. Sideline Interactive is the leading manufacturer for high-quality, innovative scoring tables and LED video display boards that help coaches and schools bring more excitement to fans, create huge fundraising opportunities, and make their jobs easier. Visit sidelineinteractive.com to check out their amazing products.
Coach, well done. That's a great segue into the next question. Man, that was really good. It's like we planned that out, but I appreciate the growth mindset that you have.
Yes, sir.
From the amazing season, 2 seasons that you've had, last 2, what's something that you've borrowed lately that you do feel like will impact you or impact your program?
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you. I have been a YouTube junkie from March 11th until day to day. I watch a lot of Jay Wright stuff, not because Josiah's at Villanova, but because we have Josiah is gone. So the best 4-out, 1-in continuity offense that has been around in the last 10 years, 12 years was Villanova. So watching Jay Wright's offense has been something that, we're stealing that on the day-to-day. And then I've also been watching the Jack Yates 2012 teams with their Havoc defense, just because we're so small. We have a guard built roster, and we're just going to have to fly around and having to understand that we're going to give up some things. But in that same token, if I have more possessions than you do, if I win the deflection battle, and I understand if I gave up those 5 dunks, your highlight looks really good. But in the left column, that doesn't look good because I want to look good. In the right column, that doesn't look good, but in the left column, I look good. Jack Yates, Jay Wright, I've been looking at a lot of their stuff and just trying to identify more with, all right, I think that will work for us. Okay, let's implement it. And then we've been watching a lot of film of us. So, how the boys played over the summer. We've been watching different games. I asked the boys to start day 1. Give me your best AAU game this summer, and we watch it. Okay, how was he great in this game, and how can we utilize that? So every day in athletics, we watch about 15 minutes of the boys, and there are 3 more. So we got 3 more days left, and then, that style of play. Everyone has something different. How can we implement that and integrate that for what we're going to be doing?
Coach, that may be the nugget that I needed to hear on this. And that's what I love about getting to do this now for about 3 years is every talk there's usually, even today, there's more than one thing, obviously, but there's one that writing that on my board going, actually, not just, I try to go to games, and I think that's important. I think for our players to know that we are supportive of them playing select ball and not just, hey, I'm glad you're doing it. We show up. We go and we sit with the parents. I found that those conversations when I sit with those parents in a very different setting than at Faith have been huge. Getting to learn more about the family, getting to learn more about him, and maybe better ways to reach him. And so, but I know for a fact that, and too, that they care that we're there. So, but I've never thought about getting the film of their games and actually breaking it down to get to know the player better. And I just think that's so good. 2 other things that you said.
Like mixing a pot. We're putting all the good in there.
Yeah.
And we mix this together. Hey, let's see how good it tastes after it's done.
That's right. Really, I really think everybody needs to do what you've done this last few months since that season is evaluate who you have coming back. And then what will work best for that team? Chris Hill at Jesuit said you have to start every season like it's brand new. And it makes sense. But I think a lot of us, and I know I'm guilty of, man, what a great year Like we won humbly 28 games last year,
Right.
but we overachieved. Like it wasn't and if those guys listen to this, I think they know we weren't necessarily planning on that and so it was a great surprise, but they were very different. We were big and we defensively had to beat people, which that's rare for us. So,
Right.
but if I take that and just try to carbon copy it over, man, we've got some scores, we've got some speed, we've got, and so I think that's the danger though of system. So I think that's really smart. And then last thing before I give it back to you is Yates, one of my favorite teams to ever watch in high school basketball, because I was at McKinney High School at the time. So me and Wes Watson, I was his varsity assistant. We'd go down and watch. Never enjoyed a game as much as the Houston Yates teams.
I mean, just think about how talented they were at the forefront, and then how fast they played, and
Coach,
how
the turnover count in the drum was going up, and that's what we're watching.
Yeah.
The other team's turnover count. We're not even like they're at 39 turnovers.
Yeah. 39 turnovers, and they have 92 points.
Yeah.
And the third quarter is not
They
over.
scored over 100 points all throughout playoffs.
Yeah, like I mean that's remarkable. Like, and I identify, we start seeing that in the spring. Like, we're going to have to be able to shoot the basketball. We're going to have to be able to play fast, and we're going to have to teach these guys that making mistakes will be okay. They're going to be okay. It's going to happen. Now, they're going to have to be scaffolded, but you're going to have to play with mistakes because we're playing so fast.
Coach, you nailed it. Anytime that you want to increase, even if, okay, let's just take skill work. If you want skill work to become more difficult, then you increase speed and you decrease vision.
Yeah.
So those two things right there makes almost any individual skill drill harder.
Yes, sir.
Playing fast is almost the same thing. The vision is decreased because of how chaotic it is. Yes. And as you push that speed up, so you have to, in my opinion, you have to allow them, take that pressure off their back, of almost as if you're a prophet saying, guys, listen, we're about to make a ton of mistakes.
Yeah.
And it's okay. Just keep going. That enables freedom, in my opinion.
We have been preaching that since day one this year. Like, just go play. Just go play and understand that when you make the mistake, it's okay. If you have a sub, you're going to go right back because that person's going to make a mistake. And it's okay. And then you're going to go right back. But understand, when you fly around for us and we put this all together, it's going to be fun, it's going to be fast, and it's going to be relentless. So make sure that you're doing those three things because it'll work for you. Not for me, but for you.
I think one of the biggest challenges anytime you try to play faster and maybe even play more people is playing time. Because everybody likes to think, we're gonna get deep in the bench, we're gonna play a lot of guys. Man, that's great, except for if there's one or two or three that remember how we've done it before, or I've seen guys not come off the floor and they think that's their turn, or and if you can almost not trick them, but like, I'm a Star Wars fan, but Jedi mind trick them into thinking that it's not about minutes, it's about possessions. Because if we play 80, 90 possessions in a game, we're playing a quarter to a quarter and a half longer than anybody else is. But that's hard because their stakeholders, the parents, they're going to look at time or width of a possession of playing, or whatever you call that, a time frame where like I went in at this number and I'm out at this number. They just look at that. They don't look at how many trips up and down the floor in that time. I just think that's one of the challenges, but I personally love playing that way.
Yeah, no, and to my parents, at our parent meeting, I'm going to communicate like, you want your baby to play. I want your baby to play. But in the same token, I want your baby to maximize his opportunity. So when he maximizes his opportunity in the first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter, mama, daddy, they played all four quarters. They played all four quarters. And at the end of the day, Tigers won. So let's be goal-oriented on the habits in which we communicated. This is how this team will be structured. Yes.
And I think it's so smart to have the parent meeting where you articulate a little bit of that vision and almost you let them into it. Like you're bringing them in, not just, hey, I've got this. Don't worry. You cheer. No, like help them to understand a little bit. And then I think another one of it's a fun challenge, but I bet this comes up sometimes when they try to do math. So I'm averaging 16 right now,
Right.
but I'm only playing 18 minutes. If I could play 28 minutes, I would average 30. But then it doesn't work like that. It's possessions. If we slow the game down so you can play more, you're not just going to score double what you're doing right now. But so it's all, when we used to really run and gun, which offensively we still do, defensively we haven't been pressuring the same for years. But it was explaining that to people, and some get it, some don't, but I think you give them a shot. Coach, I think this question is unique to you because you're going through it right now, and hopefully every coach throughout their career gets to have one or two just phenomenal players, like next level guys that just, man, like they make us look good, and I'm not discounting the rest of your team from the last couple years, but you mentioned your guy that's at Villanova now. He's there now.
Yeah, he's a freshman there now.
Yeah. So my question is what is life like within your program after you not just have a great run, but you also graduate a great player?
Yeah.
How's that been for your program?
I think it's been revitalizing because it's less of Josiah's not here. I'm like, yeah, even more. That's even better because it opens up more opportunities for everyone else. But it wasn't just Josiah. We had 3 really good seniors last year, all playing college basketball right now, D2 and D1. So to have a Josiah Mosley, a Junior Goodlet, and an Allen Guyton Jr., all 3 of those guys, it's like talking about that pressure. It's taking the pressure off now, but it's also meeting the expectation, right? So they're not here, but the expectation does not change. So for us, with the program expectations, the next man up mentality is still here. Who's to say that we don't have another Josiah Mosley walking in this gym right now? But what are your habits? Who's to say that we don't have another Junior Goodlet? But what is your mindset? Who's to say that we don't have another Allen Guyton? But where's that grit? Where's that dog? So those are the things that we still want to adhere to. Those are the things that I'm still expecting someone within this program. Okay, fill the shoes. They say that we don't have it anymore. Fill the shoes. And I love everything that every senior has been able to give to us. But my expectation and my belief is we got another guy that can come in and do it right now. It's just you got to be able to identify, do you really want to do it?
And that's what I thought you'd say. But it was really I think that's the difference between a program that has a couple great years because of a good group.
Yeah.
A group that's just so far above.
Yeah.
It's like at the Colony, my senior year, we were good, but then Darren Williams and Bracy Wright were sophomores, and after I graduated, they had 2 more years. But then it was there's a gap. There's a gap after them to when Coach Cleve Ryan took over, and then he built things again.
Right.
So sometimes those players that are just, like I said, you have a couple of those within your career if you're lucky, right?
Yeah.
But I think after that, the key is to keep the standards high.
Yeah.
To not droop. It's like if you press and you're pressing all these teams, but then you play a team now, you're like, guys, I don't think we're going to press them. I think that takes the confidence away of your pressing team. You're kind of all in with that. You can adjust little things, sure, but hey, I don't care who we play. We're going to press them.
That's who we are.
I think you got to do that after life after great players.
Yep. And that's been our mindset. We have the next all-state basketball player in here. We have the next Gatorade player of the year. Regardless, this is the confidence, the energy, the unity, the teamwork, the parts of culture that we are still translating every day. It's here. It's here. You guys got to want it. And I believe that you do. So we just got to continue to put that out into the atmosphere every day for these young men.
Love getting to ask about balancing family and coaching. There are some that say you can't even try to do it, bring it together. There's others that struggle with it. How do you balance it? How have you balanced it over the years?
It's a real simple question for me. Is my wife, like, the sacrifice that she makes and the selfishness that comes with this job and comes with the many intangibles that the outsiders will never see. It's having someone at home that is willing to understand the cognitive, the physical, the everything that this job aligns to. The ability that Summer has to balance her work life, the kids, my life, while still being a great mother and to herself. I don't think that I could do that. Like, I can do a lot of things, but do that, that I couldn't ask for a better partner to support me in achieving a goal that I've always I've always communicated with her, but to see this manifest for all of our family. That's it. That's it. And then, secondary to that, I think just finding time for your family, saying you can step away, trust your leadership amongst your coaches, and trust your program values to be able to say that you need the family time. The one thing that I believe in is getting your work done while you're here, because you need that time when you leave this place. When you leave this place, don't take the negative, the positive, the everything in lieu of it. Don't take that to your home. If you need to work, do the work, but be with your family. I tell my coaches all the time, get your work done here. Get your work done early. If you get your work done early, your family loves you even more, because don't take that time away from them. I got kids growing up, young ones right now, that they're involved in sports. And Daddy, I'm not taking away Daddy when they need to see me present for them in their journey. So if I don't give my all while I'm here between these walls on this campus, I got to let it go and start over tomorrow or until they go to sleep. And I want to make another sacrifice with my habits. Those are the things that I have to do.
Great reminders. The two things I was going to add, you definitely nailed one of them. I have written down on my board, have no dead lag time. Throughout my day, I want to get so much done.
Yes, sir.
If we're competitors, like, I want to get more done at this school than anybody else does throughout the day. More done. And maybe there's others that do, but that's the feeling. I don't, you got to be careful with this. You got to be careful with those time wasters, and not to be antisocial or anything, but maybe there's times just you got to get away, and you got to get on your computer. You got to get in your room. You got to find a place, maybe in the gym. Our old girls coach from last year, we nicknamed him the Ghost. He's my best friend. We nicknamed him the Ghost because he would never be in his office. Nobody would know where he was. He's usually in the gym sitting somewhere getting things done. Yeah. And then the second thing is your spouse. My wife gave me a great advice. Not really advice, maybe a directive. Years ago, when I first got to Faith, I thought, okay, I'm a head coach now. And I just warned her. I said, Jana, I'm going to be putting in a lot of time with this because I'm a head coach. It's that important. And this was our second marriage for both of us. And her dad was a 35-year football coach. So she's seen working hard and putting in time, because those dudes do that. Yeah. And she said, Matt, I understand. I just don't want to be second. Yeah. And like that, man, that cut through. And maybe at the time I was like I kind of want, I want basketball to be first, but what a great reminder, not to let your family be second, because, and then my last point, David Peeler at Highland Park has a sign up above the door when he drives into his garage. There's a sign and it says, don't fail at the job that only you can do. And that's at home. Man, anybody, no offense, but anybody can do what we're doing, right? Yeah. People are qualified to step in, but nobody can do what you do at your house.
Yes, sir.
So good reminders there.
Absolutely.
Thank you for checking out today's episode. Please take a moment to subscribe to this podcast, share it with your fellow coaches, and find us on social media for what's coming up next on the JAMODI podcast. It's just a matter of doing it.